Anyway, no Steve Garland. Okay. The plated loaf. For years, two bakers, Flora and Yates, flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, and combined knowledge. She loved his salt and pepper bread. Beard. I'm thinking about bread, but it's his beard. He adored her rosemary cheeks. They thought sweetly about one another, but he was one day whisked away, conscripted to bake the army's bread. By the oil of the lamp, Flora's tears began to salt her bread. The recipe asks the reader to combine flour, yeast, sugar, olive oil, and rosemary. Combine the salt and water together and add to the mixture and whisk until the dough begins to form. It was 10 to 12 years later that they met again, seemingly by fate. Flora's unique dough had earned her position as the king's personal baker. Yates had found success as well. He baked for the kingdom's 45 diplomats. One day they returned from the Dutch Isles with a gift, 450 unbaked loaves, and were sent to the palace bakery to teach a method that required no kneading. Allow the dough to proof for 10 to 12 hours, then spread out and let sit for over 45 minutes on a floured baking sheet with no kneading. Next, prepare Dutch oven preheated to 450 degrees. I feel like the story does not help. I feel like I would hate to read a recipe like this. Anyway, upon seeing Yates, Flora was both delighted and distraught. Flower, I guess, actually, whatever. Anyway, she felt as if she was torn in two. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. She wished to greet Yates warmly, but was struck by fears that he'd be unable to bake with her, that she'd face retribution for being unprepared. She cried to Yates, adding more salt to her dough. Cut the dough into 2 equal pieces and lightly sprinkle salt across the top of only one of them. Okay. Yates eased her pain. He insisted she had no obligation to prepare for a return she thought impossible. But he shared her fear of retribution. He knew if they did not solve her predicament, they'd miss their final chance to bake together. In the end, instead of wallowing in the present, they worked together to shape the future. They twisted and entwined their doughs and baked them as one. Thus was born the plated loaf. Word quickly spread of this new delight. The king's decree on royal parchment was that it would be considered a delicacy. Roll and twist the pieces to entwine them, and take the twist and wrap around the inside of the Dutch oven atop parchment from out. There we go, that's the end. It's like when you Google a recipe and have to read some random blogger's thoughts for ages before even seeing the ingredient list. Yeah, I hate those. I do hate those. Sometimes they have like a button to like skip or whatever, but like, I don't know. Does anyone, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe people read those, like, I don't know. Who reads those? I don't know. People are weird, you know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, you know, you're not coming from, you're like just looking for a recipe, right? You're not, but like if you know the blogger, right? Like maybe you're not coming from like a looking for recipes kind of point of view. Maybe if you're like, I like their writing or whatever, and then you just, you know, maybe, I don't know. But I don't know how many people are there out there like that who have like a following for their writing and then they write like recipes. I don't know. It's weird. It could happen. It could happen. Just want to make banana bread, not learn about euphoria or this new obsession with monkeys. Yeah. Yeah. But like if you were like interested in the person in their like daily life, then you maybe would care about the monkey obsession. But like, yeah, you know, it's like a weird. That's what Instagram is for. It's true. It is true. Anyway, Kitchen Tales is a book that combines recipes and stories. It had mild popularity but seemed to disappear from online marketplaces in '92. We found a scan of one story on a website that demonstrated how to bake the plated loaf. For years, two bakers, yes, we already know. Now we can actually read the rest of it, even though it's not on the scan. Atop parchment from outside inward to make a spiral. Bankrolled by the king, Flora and the Yates spent their days baking together. They traveled for 45 years, then settled down for 15 more. Their swords were golden, with no regrets. Lastly, bake for 45 minutes. Remove lid and observe until crust is golden brown, which could take up to 15 minutes. I'm supposed to look at the bread for 15 minutes? I'm not doing that. Like, I don't know. I have other things to do. Also, it doesn't look that good. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Okay, so what do we learn from this? Is this the story of their like love or whatever? I don't know what to do with this though. I guess this is all just like stuff. There's no like name, dates. You know, maiden name. There's nothing like that. I don't know. It's a shame. There's one more thing here. So we found almost all the things that are like linked from here, I guess. Is there anything new here? Elias and Gwyn's Roottrees were never really celebrities, but the general public's perception of them as classic faces associated with the Roottree Candy Company had always been in somewhat high regards. This was Elias' intention as a family man of his family brand. Since Six Pieces, the candy company has placed much less of an emphasis on Elias as a historical brand connected figure. But there have also been those who have argued that it was his right to decide how to split his inheritance and he did nothing wrong. This has led to some heated television exchanges and countless op-eds. The first innocent maple farm only used to be a popular tourist attraction during the summer months when it had special tours. However, it has since been seen an explosion of off-season business as some religious and political groups decided to visit to show support for Elias and Quinlan's traditional values and financial rights. This rise in support was in turn followed by pickets from gay rights activists when some particularly inflammatory organizations made their pilgrimages, yes. Amongst all this conflict, the farm has since shut down, seemingly indefinitely. The website says check back later but has no date listed. The quotes from Bess Williams' book appear to have been taken down. Okay. Okay. So then found in 1908, the 1921 affair would then most likely be this guy and someone named Beth or Elizabeth, the secretary, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but like, just put it there, I guess. And then there's a lot of stuff from that, but that's hard to figure out. I don't have a new picture of you, so I can't put you here. But why do I have a new picture of you? And you. You can't both. Could they both have an affair? Maybe. But where would they even go here? Because it would have to be at the end. Because they're not related to. Well, even if they were related, that wouldn't show up here. Like, it would have to be over here. Like, that would be 98, but like they don't have an affair. They're like married. I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's just that's not them, but like I have the pictures and they're like both of these, I don't know. Or was the child, did he get married after she, I don't know. Is that like is it just like a timeline thing? Or is this just all the new? Oh, it's not. This is just an update, right? This is not an This is not an infidelity, so this is fine. Yes. Okay, so we go with you again, and with you, Brian Jones, and you are Stephanie, whatever your name was, Landon. And you're still in politics. And you have a child whose name is Carol Jones. And you're a baby. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking about infidelities, not about other updates to the family tree. I didn't look at the listing. They are just saying update because it didn't make sense. Like, they're obviously they're not an affair. They just had a child, which you already knew about, but it wasn't born yet, so it wasn't on the tree. Anyway, booyah.
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life.
Okay, sure.
3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees.
That's not that many.
First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news.
Okay, yeah.
I felt terrible. So I began helping the others.
Okay, that's good character development.
Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me.
David, but yeah.
I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there.
Okay, yes.
But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it.
Okay, sure. You're just not doing anything.
I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down.
Nice. That's what I was wondering. I felt like we needed some company records to get some name, some like hard like proof. Like, this is this person, this is their maiden name, right? This is when they worked for this guy, right? Like, I don't know how we were like getting that from like Google searches. So that is very useful.
The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Fortunately, so am I. So it's gonna be great. Anyway. No hello, yeah, no hello, just straight to business. I guess she made me a millionaire, so I can't complain. It's a lot of records, okay. That's good. Mary Beth Clementine. This photo was given to you by Sam Madsen. A woman named Regina Clementine came to her and claimed that her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Roottree. Okay. The details of this case can be found in your evidence. Stuart is the older boy wearing a vest. The woman in the photo is Mary Beth Clementine, a singer who may have had an affair with Miracle Roottree. I mean, plausible. Do they look alike? Maybe a little. So Mary Beth, Stuart, other kid, probably Miracle, and then the wife of the possible Roottree, Regina. Okay, good. It's just too much stuff, honestly. From 6 pieces at prodigy.us to genealogy at prodigy.us. This is all the information I have about Regina Clementine Nee Salazar. From New Orleans, Louisiana. They give me Louisiana for New Orleans, but they don't give me the state for Portland? Come on. And her husband Stuart Clementine. She wrote me about a month ago. Apparently the Roottree lawyers went after her since then. By the time I received her letter and called her, she told me she couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband, who is a police officer and never knew his father, told her he thought he might be a Roottree, but he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally I wouldn't be so sure, but she has some pretty credible facts. Some of it I've been able to confirm. Stuart's mother was named Mary Beth Clementine. She was pretty well known in the 30s to 50s, a singer who went on tour to a lot of churches. You can look her up online, and she was a pretty big proponent of adoption. I know for a fact that she came to Butler County a few times. I remember her from when I was younger, and Regina said that Stuart told her that they always seem to spend a lot of time at the Miracle Church. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she is. I've attached it to this email. Sam Madsen's 6 pieces unwrapping America's sweetest family is out now. Please consider saving a tree and not printing this email. It's already printed. Anyway. Figured Miracle wasn't faithful when you got an updated photo of him. That makes sense, yes. Louisiana's always there, no New Orleans, Kentucky. That's maybe for the best. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know how you would like pronounce it if there was one. Anyway, like not you specifically, but like all the Kentuckians there, you know. Right. What was I doing? Should I look at these? I guess I should. I've given some partial staff records to cross-reference by Sam Madsen. These records are based on old tax mailing information that only detail the employees that work directly for Roottree or in their corporate office. The many laborers on their farms and in their factories are not listed. You're not sure how helpful it will be, except for cross-referencing guys, secretaries, and visits overseas. Spy searching people just because they're listed in these books will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. Now I want to do it. Leadership. President Zach Morton. Special Management Ernest Madsen Jr. Office Staff. Edward Roottree, Lloyd Carpenter, Carl Monroe, Elizabeth Cravensworth. Okay. That might be worth looking into. Product Management. Eli C. Roottree, Fred Cross, Albert Cross, Douglas Rosenberg. Secretaries. Juliet McCullen. Joanna Robertson. But are we in the right? Zach is the president. We need Guy, but that could be her. Doris Mays, Beth Knox. Farm and Manufacturing. Samantha Madsen, John Miller, Elizabeth Farrow, Thomas Green, Fred Gleason, Stuart Todd, Sam Harmon, Robert Logan, Michael Crane, Jack Keatings. Major expenses, none. That's good. Probably like Arlen's, probably. Okay, that was 75. 76, 77. In 77, it was announced that Zach would be retiring and Guy would be taking over at the start of 78. He held a retirement party in November before spending the final month working on the transition. During 76 and 77, the following changes took place. Guy Hudson has replaced Ernest Madsen Jr. as special management. Patrick Decker was hired. Eli C. Roottree is no longer employed by Roottree in 76. 77, Ernest Madsen is now listed under product management. 76, Christine Farrow was hired. Wasn't she already there? Is this different Farrow? Elizabeth Farrow, okay. Too many people. Joanna Robertson is no longer listed amongst the secretaries, but a Joanna Fellows has been added to the list. Okay, so that's the name. That's good. In 1977, Joanna Fellows and Beth Knox are no longer employed by Roottree. Christine Farrow is no longer listed amongst the secretaries, but a Christine Garland has been hired. Okay. Garland was... Who was Garland? The chef at Antonelli's. Which is like one of these. But I don't know how we... I mean, I don't know. That would be maybe you, because you were married to the chef. And you are not married, apparently. And you are not... Well, you split up. I don't know if you had a second son or child, I guess. Because then that would be the possible, like the first child. I don't know. I don't know. No, but wasn't that the one that wasn't? No, we don't have that evidence. If that was, yeah, no. We know there was one affair that wasn't, but that's not on the board. So, yeah, that would make some sense anyway. Wasn't that her married name though? Which one? Garland? Yeah. Like she was Christine Farrow and then Garland was the chef. Or something. Elizabeth? Was she Elizabeth? I don't remember anymore. There's too many names now. I need to sort these out. But that was Elizabeth, right? No, it was Elizabeth's daughter. Elizabeth was the farm person. Yeah. Elizabeth Farrow is the person working at the farm, and her daughter was the secretary, who then eloped with the chef from Antonelli's. And that's her. And Sam knew the mother, because they were both on the farm. And the daughter was the secretary who then married the chef and eloped. That seems right. Anyway, but yeah, we have to sort of like, I don't know if I can figure out for sure which one of the, because Guy had so many affairs. Anyway, farm and manufacturing. John Miller is no longer employed by Roottree. Gwyneth Madsen was hired. Major expensive. Beth Knox 50-year work anniversary bonus 50,000. In 76 is a lot of money. It feels like. And the Zach Morton retirement party cost 20k in 77. Okay. In 78, Guy Hudson took over. This began a particularly volatile period in the company's staffing. Many travel expenses were listed, and Guy began trying to develop new 5-piece flavors. The following changes were recorded. Yeah, Guy Hudson replaces Zach Morton as the president. 79. Edward Roottree, Elizabeth Cravensworth, and Lloyd Carpenter are no longer employed. Raffertoons is now listed as office staff. What? Product management. 79. Albert Cross and Fred Cross are no longer employed. Secretaries. Christine Garland is no longer working for Roottree. Beatrice Watts and Corinne Schwartz were hired. Juliet McCullen and Doris Mays are no longer employed. Lisa Lewis and Valerie Ewing were hired. Thomas Green, Michael Crane, Elizabeth Farrow, and Jack Keatings are no longer employed by Roottree. Emily Seinfeld and Sam Cattrall were hired. Robert Logan is no longer employed by Roottree. William Sams was hired. Special Services Interpreter. Susan Ford was hired under a special category that only existed for 1 year. That sounds like another affair. That does sound like another affair for sure. Major expenses. Presidential office refurbishment, 52,000. 5-piece flavor development, caviar, 10,000 per month. That's a lot of money. Edward Roottree retirement party, 7,500. Christmas tree bash, 7,500. New Year's Eve bar, 7,500. Travel expenses, Australia, China, France, Brazil, $190,000. Okay. 5 pieces flavor development, butterscotch, 10,000 per month. In 79, we're already now. 79, 5 pieces flavor development, caviar, still 10,000 per month. 4th of July spectacular, 7,500. New Year's Eve bar, 7,500. All the parties cost like the same? That's kind of weird, no? That seems weird to me. Like the New Year's Eve party, the Christmas party, the 4th of July party, the next New Year, they all cost exactly the same amount. Maybe they had a strict budget and always makes it out. It doesn't seem like he spent 190,000 on travel and 10,000 per month on like flavor development for like the failed flavors. It doesn't seem like the guy who would have a strict budget for the parties. He also spent 52,000 on his own office, so I don't know. Make a note of that, Trevor. I think there's potential Roottrees around the world. That's a good idea. There might be a Chinese. I feel like Brazil with the bribe. That might not have been a bribe. That might have been paying off. You know, another affair. The volatility continued. Many new employees didn't tend to stick around very long. I wonder why. 8081. Terry O'Connor was hired for office staff. Susan Ford has been moved to office staff. I don't even remember that name, but okay. Douglas Rosenberg is no longer employed. I don't remember that name either. Edward Morrison and Robert Andrews were hired. Edward Morrison is no longer employed. Okay, he was just there for like, who knows, a year. Secretaries. Corinne Schwartz and Beatrice Watts are no longer employed by Roottree. Linda Lewis and Angela Ingram were hired. Lots of, I guess, like so many women. Lisa Lewis and Valerie Ewing are no longer employed by Roottree. Catherine Garrett was hired. Farm and manufacturing. William Sams is no longer employed by Roottree. Emily Seinfeld is no longer employed, and Emily Barnes is now listed. Okay, so that might be someone who got married. But I don't know if that's relevant, because I don't know if you're an affair or not. Gwyneth Matson is no longer employed, but Gwyneth Cattrall is now listed. Maybe we should add the years to those. Whatever. Special services interpreter. Susan Ford no longer works in this department. Major expenses. Still $10,000 a month for strawberry flavor development this time. $10,000 for Shigua? I don't know. Flavor development. $10,000 for butterscotch. $10,000 for caviar still, man. New Year's Eve bar, $7,500. 4th of July, $7,500. Christmas tree, $7,500. And then next year, still all the flavor developments for $10K. New Year's Eve, $7,500. 4th of July, $7,500. Christmas tree, bash, $7,500. Grandorf Dove donation, $250,000. Why is that? I'll have to look that up. Guy Hudson died in May of 1982, so the first few months of that year continued along the same pattern as they had been. Things quickly changed when Ernie took over. Most of the extraneous expenses ended, and all of the secretaries, most handpicked by Guy Hudson, were let go. Yeah, okay. Sam Metzen left Roottree in '84, so this is the last set of books you have access to. The following changes were recorded. Okay, '82, Ernest Madsen replaces Guy. Carl Roottree joins as special management in '83. Office staff. Susan Ford is no longer employed by Roottree. '83, no change. '84, no change. Product management. Ernest Madsen no longer works in this department. Douglas Rosenberg was rehired. Okay. Brought him back. Secretaries. Angela Ingram, Linda Lewis, Catherine Garrett are no longer employed. '82. From here on out, no secretaries are directly employed by Roottree. Roottree instead uses a temp agency called Work Time Temp. Okay. Farm and manufacturing. Victor Logan was hired. Stuart Harmon is no longer employed. Amy Sutton was hired. Sam Madsen is no longer employed by Roottree. Major expenses. 5 pieces flavor development. Sugar plum cancelled after 5 months. Strawberry cancelled after 5 months. I still don't know what is Shigua. I don't know. Cancelled after 5 months. Butterscotch, I do know what that is, and I do know strawberry and caviar too. 82 New Year's Eve bar, $7,500. Fred Gleason's 50-year work anniversary bonus, $50K. Root clothing reimbursement, Carl Roottree, $1 million. That's a lot of money. Anyway. He hired a translator for his foreign bit of fluff. But it's something else, it's true. Shigua is the Mandarin Chinese word for watermelon. That's okay. I mean, I figured it was Chinese based on, you know, the way the word looked, but that's all. That's as far as I got on my own. Anyway, I wanted to look up the Grandorf Dove, because that doesn't sound right. The Grandorf Scour for the Death, okay, formerly Grandorf Dove. Why Dove? Is located about an hour from where the Roottree offices used to be in Butler County, but it serves much of that part of Pennsylvania nearby Ohio. According to their website, it was formerly named Grandorf Dove from 1923 to 1990 because Grandorf was the last name of the founder and Dove is the Danish word for death. Okay, see, that makes sense. It's still a weird name, but okay. The founder had issues with government translators leading to an odd transcription issue. It's weird, but okay. In 1990, it was renamed to better represent the Scour's purpose and to correct the embarrassing lack of effort and awareness demonstrated by the government official in those early days. The stuff is listed on the website. You can scan through all of the biographies and find that the principal, Miss Ford, is fluent in 5 languages, including ASL, American Sign Language. She has been working at the school for over 15 years. Miss Ford's bio also mentions she's not deaf herself, but rather learned sign language to communicate with the deaf. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. If you're not deaf, that's the only reason to learn sign language is to communicate with the deaf, yes. It mentions that she was responsible for securing funding for the Hudson Wing. Yes, she secured the funding. So that's also the interpreter. She was hired to the company and she got like a big donation for the score. Very sus for sure. I wonder what the other 4 languages are. So American Sign Language, English, presumably. And then we have like 3 more languages. Maybe Danish? The Hudson Wing was an expansion to Grandorf Dove, now Grandorf School for the Deaf, first built in 1982. It's a separate, much smaller building, half a block from the main campus, and operates as a small, independent school that offers free ASL courses for the family members, friends, and caretakers of deaf children. According to their history site, they got their name after the president of the Roottree Company generously donated $250,000 towards the construction of the building. There's also a very vague history section that you can somewhat fill in with details from the other information you've seen about the Scour. It mentions that the donation came at the insistence of an employee of Roottree at the time. It mentions that she learned ASL from the main Scour before the Hudson Wing even existed, to surprise her future husband who was deaf. Okay, after realizing how useful a service like this could be to non-deaf people that wish to better serve those with hearing issues, she convinced Roottree management to invest in the Scour. The Hudson Wing opened and she became the first teacher at the new campus. At first it only operated on weekends, but since then it has added afternoon classes on some weekdays. Interesting. Maybe Portuguese, Mandarin, maybe. I mean, this is still kind of weird. So she didn't speak sign language and learned it to surprise her future husband who was deaf. So how did they communicate before? Like, he was already her future husband, but they couldn't communicate? Did it just like write down stuff? Get an interpreter? I guess maybe. If you're rich enough to have someone around for like, I don't know, arranged marriage, that maybe, but like, it's weird, right? Because that was 82. What of arranged marriages in Pennsylvania in 82? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be as like she just saw him and fell in love, and then learned the language, and then talked to him, and then they got engaged and married, right? It could be that. It just sounds like the way it's written, it sounds like he was the future husband that was already determined, and then she learned the language to surprise him. Anyway, lots of Amish in PA. There are lots of those. That is true. That is true. Really? I thought that would be something. I forgot the name of the Scour. Grandorf Grandorf, School for the Deaf. Grandorf. Such a weird name. Anyway. Grandorf Dove was a school for the deaf near Butler and was regularly listed in articles with other local schools. The Butler County Times archives includes what seems like an endless list of snow cancellations, extracurricular activities, and weekend events that began over 70 years ago and stretched until the last mention in 1990. Amongst the avalanche of useless information, you almost miraculously discovered one useful article. Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teachers' cars was painted with profanities and accusation of infidelity. A few weeks later, a follow-up article provides more details. There was one arrest. Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently, the destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. She was not the teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. According to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages and for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. It seems Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have all avoided further appearances in the Butler County Times. So, the teacher is the interpreter, right? And the affair. And she's also who secured the money, maybe. But what was her name? I keep forgetting. Not Hughes. Hughes is like his name, but like Susan Ford. Right, and then the Principal Miss Ford is fluent in 5 languages. Is that the same person? Because this is the current principal, so she was probably the teacher before, and she went back to her maiden name after the divorce. Yeah, that seems right to me. And then that would be either you. Yeah, that would be you, probably. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. What was the timeline on that? He died in 82? May of 82. Susan Ford is no longer employed in 82. But she was still Susan Ford at the time. So that would probably make her the final affair, because he like when she left the company, she was still called Ford, not Hughes. But like 2 kids is weird. Because like the Mr. Hughes is convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. That was in 82. And then they began divorce proceedings. But that would then not really make sense that they're like, that would be the Hudson child, but then there wouldn't be a second child if they divorced while she was pregnant with the first kid there. That doesn't line up. Not really, anyway. Nothing about Thomas here, okay. It's just the same. There's not gonna be anything in here. Or in like Teen Blast. Or Modern Music Monthly. Or in Silver Screen Magazine. Or in Starlet. What was her name again? I keep forgetting her name. Is it Lisa Ford? Susan Ford. Wait, was it Susan? Susan Ford. Susan Ford, yeah, Susan, not Lisa. There was nothing there, no. And there's nothing in the County Times. That's a shame. Am I taking a break today? That's a good question. I probably should have taken a break like 15 minutes ago. Maybe we should do it now then. Yeah, we'll take a quick break. And then we'll do like some more of this. I feel like we have like names and stuff there, but I just don't know where to put it. Like I'm not sure which one makes more sense without finding more about the woman, I guess. Susan. Well, in my head I can't remember her name is Susan, but like it is. Anyway, yeah, I'll be right back, and you listen to Conquistador again. Well, not Conquistador, Beef Baby. It's on Conquistador. You don't get the full album though, you only get the one track. And you'll be happy. And I'll see you in like 3 minutes.
One, two, three, four.
I'm not blind to your trying to cut in. That's my price you've been eyeing. You thought you could win. You can quit all your crying. We're no longer kids. All our lives you've been lying. Now it's come to this. You thought that we'd stay friends forever, but that ends play the victim side and try to be